In the headlines, teachers in Niger State begin sit-at-home strike as ordered by NUT. Yobe State government lifts ban on use of motorcycles in 10 local government areas. APC leader Bola Tinubu meets President Buhari on his presidential ambition. And on the foreign scene, 19 killed, dozens injured in New York City building fire. Hello and welcome to Trust News Update. I'm Dashan Hussaina Usman. And now the news in detail. Niger State primary school teachers have begun the sit-at-home strike in compliance with directives by the state wing of the Nigerian Union of Teachers over percentage salary payment. State chairman of the NUT, Akayago Mohammed, via telephone, said the union had earlier given the state ultimatum to stop the payment of teachers' salaries in percentages. Mohammed emphasized that the sit-at-home will last for as long as it takes the government to resolve the problem. The strike action commenced as school resumed on Monday from Christmas and New Year break to begin the academic session. Governor of Yobe State, Mai Mala Buni, has lifted the ban on the use of motorcycles across 10 local government areas of Yobe North and South Senatorial District. The governor made the announcement at the Emir of Nguru's Palace while commiserating with residents over the recent fire incident at Nguru Market. He noted that residents are now free to use their motorcycle for easy access to their farms, among other legitimate purposes, explaining that the new measure is as a result of improvement in security situation witnessed in those areas. Archbishop Hilary Dachalom has appealed to Nigerians to tolerate one another in the interest of peace and tranquility so as to have a country that all can be proud of. In an exclusive interview in Bauchi with Trust TV's Adamu Imam, the Catholic Archbishop says Nigeria as a whole cannot be divided because of selfish interest of a few individuals.
Archbishop Hilary attributed the lingering security challenges in the country as inhuman, a lack of justice among Nigerians who were so desperate to divide the country. He pointed out that no one could survive without another.
So this was it. So bearing in mind this type of Nigeria I grew up, I don't think anybody wished us, neither the Muslim nor the Christian, wants us, likes what is happening today.
Okay.
Do you understand me? Let me say a word before you can come in. Really, they don't like it. Nobody wants it. We just got trapped in this situation of misery and mystery. Okay? Yeah. We just got trapped in this situation of misery and mystery that nobody seemed to have a clear clue on how to deal with it. The only thing may be that we might all need to come together, pray to God and ask us God to be merciful on us, and also together let us synergize and agree that we want to end this.
He also maintained that tolerance is key for national integration and justify the existence of a human being.
So if we don't do like this, how else are we supposed to live? Tell me, a chaotic system, carrying guns, then we are reduced to mamas, barbarians. We cannot reduce to that. Except we have rationality. In the order of creation which God has made, He has made human beings. They call them rational animal. There are animals, but as some addition is there, rational animals. That means we have rationality. And if we have rationality, we have a good knowledge of what is good and what is evil. And we have a good articulation of pro and cons of life, intellect, something that can help us judge. We have also the capacity to be good. You call it willpower. We have memory. We can remember what we did yesterday. We can remember what happened the other day. Animals don't. If we cannot support each other, if we cannot encourage each other, I come back again. the language of love, the language of compassion, the language of peace is the language of humanity, is beyond religion.
However, Archbishop added that Nigerians needed to be committed towards Nigerian project and think of others as brothers keeper alike. Adamu Imam, Trust TV News, Bauchi.
Northern youths want multi-stakeholder approach towards ending insecurity, banditry, kidnapping and cattle rustling in Nigeria. Youths under the platform of Coalition of Northern Activists for Peace says the rising insecurity in some northern states may be politically motivated. Addressing newsmen in Kaduna, spokesman of the coalition, Mukhtar Zubairu, said that the only way insecurity can end in the country is when all relevant stakeholders come together to fight the scourge.
In addressing the challenges that have been bedeviled northern Nigeria. Recall that North has over time on the spotlight with issues of insecurity, significantly banditry, terrorism and cyber propaganda. We all know for certain that the issues at stake require a multi-stakeholder approach, which is necessary considering the dynamics of the issues that have affected the socio-economic well-being of the peace and loving people of Kaduna State and indeed northern Nigeria. It is a known fact that the past 12 years have been challenging, especially with the havoc caused by the activities of the Boko Haram insurgent group and other militant organizations. Criminal elements brought sorrow, tears, and blood in the most barbaric and condemnable manner. As concerned stakeholders in northern Nigeria and Kaduna State, we can't feign ignorance to the issues affecting our state and the region, which, by all indications, are politically motivated. This is inconsistent with successive governments' attempt to address the issue. However, their best wasn't good enough, so much so that we feared the Armageddon had come. We very expressly join our voices with that of Mr. President to condole with the government of Kaduna of Zamfara State about the recent happenings in the state. We are sure that in the coming days, the people of Zamfara and indeed the world will see and experience lasting peace and tranquility.
Zamfara State Governor Bello Matawalle says his administration is working with security agencies to address bandits' activities ravaging the state. The governor said this while giving an update on the ongoing military offensive against the bandits.
My dear people of Zamfara State, it becomes necessary for me to address you once more on the issue of security in our dear state. It becomes even more compelling to deliver this address following the recent incidents of bloodbaths in some communities of Anka and Bukun local government area in order to give the actual account of what transpired and steps were being taken. As you are aware, the security measures taken in recent months, coupled with the intensifications of assaults by the security forces against the various bandit enclaves in the state in the past few weeks, have put the bandits and their collaborators in a tight corner. They have been deprived of fuel, food supply, and other means of sustenance, which give them the impetus to hang on their criminal activities. As a result of the measures, many of the bandits compared moving from location to location in search of new fortresses in the course of their movement. They unleash terror on any community they pass by. For example, the recent incidents in the village of Mohai, located between Magazu and Ankara, occurred following a distress call received by the security forces that a group of bandits traveling in a motorcade of about 50 motorcycles were sighted. The security forces responded immediately and engaged the bandits, successfully neutralizing most of them. You may recall that I was at the center of operation to cheer up our troops and transport the 4 wounded soldiers to the hospital here in Gusau.
troops have foiled an attack and neutralized 5 bandits in Kwanambataro of Giwa local government area of Kaduna State. The State Commissioner, Ministry of Internal Security and Home Affairs, Samuel Aruwan, in a statement, explained that the troops who were conducting clearance patrols in Giwa local government area received credible intelligence of the bandits' movement towards Fatika town. According to the statement, the outlaws were sighted and attempted to escape the advancing forces while the troops cut off their escape route at Kwanambataro and engaged them in the firefight, during which 5 of them were neutralized. Aruwan said the security forces are sustaining monitoring and patrols in the general area. You're still watching Trust News Update. Coming up after the break. Measures to tackle black suit pandemic in Rivers State. Do stay with us.
The board and management of Media Trust Limited invites the general public to its annual Daily Trust Dialogue, themed 2023, The Politics, Economy and Insecurity. Date, 20th January 2022. Location, NAF Conference Center and Suites, Abuja. Time, 10 a.m. prompt. Chairman of the occasion, former Head of State General Abdulsalami Abubakar, GCFR. Guest Speaker, Governor of Kaduna State Malam Nasir Ahmed El-Rufai. Guest Speaker, Governor of Ebonyi State Engineer David Umahi. Guest Speaker, former Chairman Federal Inland Revenue Service Mrs. Ifueko Omoigui Okauru. Moderator, Executive Director Daria Media Nigeria Limited Kadaria Ahmed. And all participants must observe COVID-19 protocols and wear their face masks.
Welcome back. You're still watching Trust News Update. Here's a look at some of our top stories. You heard that Niger State primary school teachers have begun sit-at-home in compliance with the directives of the state wing of the Nigerian Union of Teachers over percentage salary payment to the teachers in the state. And the governor of Yobe State, Mai Mala Buni, has lifted the ban on the use of motorcycles across 10 local government areas of Yobe North and South senatorial districts in the state. Moving on to more news, Bauchi State Primary Healthcare Development Agency says it has recorded 38 confirmed cases of circulating mutant poliovirus type 2 in 12 local government areas. Executive Chairman of the agency, Dr. Rilwanu Mohammed, stated this in Bauchi over the weekend when he flagged off the vaccination exercise against the virus at Bayam Fata. He said the affected local government areas included Toro, Warji, Darazo, Misau, Dambam, Zaki, Jama'are, Alkaleri, Ganjua, Bauchi, Katagum, and Shira. The chairman said the target population during the vaccination exercise remained under 5 years, with a total of 2 million, as the vaccines so far received stood at 2,367,450. Rilwanu said intrastate border synchronization meetings between Bauchi, Jigawa, Kano, Yobe, Bauchi, Gombe, Bauchi have been conducted. The resurgence of the wild polio virus in the country came after a few years of polio-free certification. Nigeria Center for Disease Control on Sunday gave a fresh warning over Lassa fever cases, which is said had risen to 4,632 and recorded 102 deaths. The center, in its latest advisory in Abuja, warns Nigerians of the possibility of Lassa fever presenting malaria-like symptoms such as fever, headache, sore throat, general body weakness, and cough, among others. The NCDC advised healthcare workers to maintain a high index suspicion for Lassa fever, noting that any illness that has not responded to 48 hours use of anti-malaria or antibiotics should raise an index suspicion for Lassa fever, adding that the time between an infection and appearance of symptoms of the disease is 6 to 21 days. Meanwhile, the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency has warned that all Nigerian children aged 0 to 59 months are at immediate risk of contracting the poliovirus following the recent outbreak of the circulating vaccine-derived poliovirus in Nigeria. Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike has declared 19 persons wanted for operating illegal crude oil refining sites responsible for the black suit pandemic in the state. The governor has also directed the Rivers State Head of Service to query one Temple Amakiri, a director in the Ministry of Energy, for abetting bunkering activities and hand him over to the police for investigation.
Broadcast said the government has resolved to pragmatically tackle the soot pandemic by destroying and closing down all identified illegal crude oil refining sites and activities in the state. He stated that following his 2022 New Year message outlining measures to tackle the black soot menace in the state, Task Force on Illegal Street Trading raided some illegal crude oil refining sites in Port Harcourt and arrested a number of persons.
The following persons have been identified as kingpins of bunkering and illegal crude oil refining activities in their communities, have been declared wanted and directed to report themselves to the State Police Command, to whom we have already passed their details to. 1. Mr. Zuike Amadi, OSPAC Commander, Obogoro Community and Chairman of Abo Central OSPAC. 2. 1 Mr. India, of Oromo Community and Chairman of White Bunkering Association in Abo Kingdom. 3. 1 Mr. Oke, who is in charge of White Bunkering in Oromo Parade. 4. Mr. Anderson, who is in charge of White Bunkering activities in Ogogoro Community.
Governor Wike also reaffirmed the total ban on the use of motorcycles in Obio, Akpo and Port Harcourt councils, which was necessitated by the collective threats they pose to the security of lives and property.
No person, including corporate bodies, is allowed to operate autos or motorcycles in Obiakpo and Port Harcourt local government areas. Any person or corporate entity that requires the use of motorcycle for any lawful purposes must therefore first apply to the office of the governor for permit and proper documentation of the operational details and particulars of both the motorcycle and designated riders. Against this background, we are hereby issuing the final warning to all those operating motorcycle shuttles and or hawking foreign exchange along Birabi Street, Hotel Presidential GRA Junction by Zenith Bank up to Tumbia Street to immediately leave or be arrested and prosecuted.
Governor Wike also placed a total ban on the use of umbrella and table trading stands in the entire old and new GRAs of Obio Akpo, Port Harcourt City and Eleme local government councils of the state. He said the state government has credible evidence that most of the purported traders in front of houses are informants who monitor and pass on vital details and information on the daily movement of every important persons to their criminal collaborators.
Consequently, we have placed a total ban on the use of umbrella, table and makeshift trading stands in the entire old and new GRAs of Obiakpo and Port Harcourt City local government areas. We shall arrest and prosecute any person who violates this ban by trading or encouraging any trading on outdoor tables, umbrella or makeshift stands in the aforementioned areas.
The governor urged residents of the state to report those involved in illegal crude oil refineries, as full names will be published and declared wanted for those in Okrika and some other parts of the state if they fail to voluntarily report to the police.
National leader of the All Progressives Congress, Bola Tinubu, has informed President Muhammadu Buhari of his ambition to contest for the position of president in 2023. The APC national leader stated this to State House correspondents on Monday after meeting behind closed doors with President Buhari at the presidential villa, Abuja. Tinubu said the decision is a lifelong ambition and that he has the confidence, the vision and the capacity to build on the vision of President Buhari. He said he visited the State House to see the president on general issues concerning Nigeria, including some of the concerns in the APC, as well as security issues. Schemings to contest governorship election in Kwara State is gaining momentum as groups begin to throw weight behind candidates. A group indicates its willingness to support the second-term ambition of the Kwara State Governor, Abdulrahman Abdulrazak, to complete and consolidate on his achievements so far. The group, called Kwara Progressive Media Organization, in a press conference, say they believe the governor has done well in the past 3 years to get the second chance. The spokesperson of the group noted that the governor has touched all sectors and therefore should be supported and allowed to consolidate. This is coming as the opposition party of People's Democratic Party plans to zone the governorship ticket to Kwara North.
Due to what he has done in the state in less than 3 years. Personally, I am from Kwara North, Patigi to be precise. I can tell you in the last 16 years, we have never had the presence of a government in my local government. And the same thing applies to all the 16 local government areas in the state. So if in 3 years we have seen a lot of changes in time of infrastructure, human capacity development, empowerment, sense of belonging, and even political appointments, especially for the youth category, in my own local government and other parts of the state, I am proud to say that the governor deserves more than second term. PDP has not officially zoned the ticket to Kwara North because that process is unofficially unknown to INEC. Anything can happen tomorrow. So as of today, I can tell you we are not bothered about the zoning of ticket to Kwara North. What we are hoping to campaign with is what people can see, and it is there. Governor Abdulrahman Abdulrazak has made it easy for us, and I can tell you that is what we are going to campaign with. As for PDP, there is nothing they can make reference to.
In business, Governor Umar Zulum has signed the 2022 appropriation bill of 269.6 billion naira into law on Monday. According to the Speaker of Borno State House of Assembly, Abdul Karim Lawang, it made an additional 1.7 billion naira to cover some items that were not captured in the budget, rising from the initial 267.9 billion naira. The Borno State Governor warned his Executive Council members that he will not entertain requests outside the provisions of the 2022 budget. He stressed that commissioners must track the expenditure for the year, emphasizing that all departments and ministries will be scrutinized. The governor also signed the Child Protection Rights Bill and Violence Against Persons Prohibition Bill into law.
Executive Council, we have to be very careful. The commissioners has to have their own diaries. I will not take it lightly. If you know that you don't have provision for such projects to be executed in the year 2022 budget, kindly don't send it to me. I will term such submissions as clumsy, one, and then secondly, I will term it as an ineptitude of the members of the State House of Assembly, members of the Borno State Executive Council, to send any request to me that is outside the budget, which is very important. Again, you also have to track your own expenditure.
On the foreign scene, at least 19 people are killed, including 9 children and dozens of others injured in an apartment building fire in New York City's deadliest blaze in 3 decades. Trapped residents broke windows for air and stuffed wet towels under doors as smoke rose from the lower floor apartment where the first fire started. Survivors told of fleeing in panic through darkened hallways, barely able to breathe. New York Mayor Eric Adams said the fire broke out at about 11 a.m. on Sunday in the Twin Parks apartment in the Bronx area of the city. The 19-story tower provides affordable housing and had a large community of people of Gambian origin. The children who died were 16 years old or younger. More than 5 dozen people are hurt and 13 are hospitalized in critical condition. The fire commissioner said most of the victims had severe smoke inhalation. And finally, in sports, Super Eagles on Monday debunked reports that a fight broke out in its camp. The team, via its official Instagram handle, said the players were only having fun. Earlier, a mild drama at Super Eagles camp in Cameroon went viral as attackers Kelechi Iheanacho, in a recorded video, dragged Henry Onyekuru near an elevator, holding each other, which generated reactions from Nigerians. Nigeria will take on 7-time champions Egypt, Sudan, and debutants Guinea-Bissau in the group phase of the 19th appearance in the Africa Cup of Nations, with the Stade Rumde Adja in Gurau as the venue for all their matches. With this, we've come to the end of Trust News Updates. Don't forget to follow us across all our social media platforms. I'm Darshan Hussaina Usman. Thanks for watching.